Alright, let's have a look at the new hook. That's not bad. That's actually kind of insane. Oh god, no. Hey, IOStux here. The new patch didn't only bring some balance changes, but it also added a little join team chat button, which I guess is pretty nice. It also makes the kill feed red, like the little icon, if the kill was caused by a headshot. And if someone dies to an ability or an ultimate, then the little icon is displayed, which is nice. I mean, it makes the kill feed more mandatory than it already is. So if you haven't already, make sure to enable your kill feed, because with the new patch, it's going to be really important. Alright, so today I want to talk about the new patch. First I need to mention that this is the PTR. We don't know if these changes go through, although I'm quite certain they will in their current form. And I need to preface this that some of the changes are a little minor, which I think is good, especially for the PTR. Like, I wouldn't be happy if they made it onto live in their current state. But I think it's good that they, go with this gradual approach and let us see all these different iterations so that we can, more pinpoint how they will change the meta and all this stuff. But I'm talking too much. Let's get straight into the point now. Alright, so let's start with the first and, in my opinion, most important character, which is Anna. They decided to finally change her, which is good, because she's the sole reason for this stupid tank meta at the moment. And what they did is they decreased the little healing boost that you get from 100% down to 50%. Now, this change that won't really affect the tank meta. Like, obviously it's a nerf, but it's not that much. She won't be able to heal big burst damage as easily again. But then again, that's not really something that's in the game at the moment. We either have one-shots or we have consistent damage that she can counter heal. So it's good that they, kind of start off small, but this is not the nerf that I think will defeat the tank meta at the moment. It's just not good enough. She still has enough healing to deal with the current situation of tanks. Like, she can still heal 3 to 4 tanks perfectly fine, even with this booster, in my opinion. The main way the grenade was used anyways wasn't really to boost the healing, unless you were healing someone like D.Va, maybe. Most of the time it was used on enemies for the little burst damage, but mainly for the counter heal. Because the best way to counter Ana's immense healing is obviously with Ana's grenade. So, in my opinion, they shouldn't have changed the little heal boost, but the anti-heal to some way. Maybe not make it a complete 100% anti-heal, but just a 50% heal. Obviously that would be really, that would be a big change compared to this one. But that would actually change something about the meta. What you need to realize is that this heal boost that her grenade applies is not the reason she's so good at healing tanks. So yeah, it's good that they're making small changes. It probably won't be enough. They'll have to reiterate a little. It'll probably make it to live. Maybe not in its current form, but we can definitely see some nerfs to the bonus healing. I just don't think that it's enough. Okay, let's go over D.Va now, and this is an insane nerf in my opinion. Like, some people think it's a buff, but I'm still not sure. Okay, so let's first go over the nerf. Her health has been increased from 200 to 400, and her armor decreased from 400 to 200. That basically means that instead of 200 health, 400 armor, she, they got swapped around. So she has a lot more health now. The problem with that is mainly Zarya, because one of the things that D.Va had for her was that Zarya is really good against her because she can just shoot through the defense matrix. And when she would do that, then she first would go through that 400 armor, and she would deal half damage because Zarya's weapon is in ticks, and ticks get a full 50% damage reduction. Now that they swapped this around, she only needs to go through 200 HP of armor, which, is still quite a bit, but not as much. So, in my opinion, this is actually a pretty big nerf. Again, Zarya is kind of in a weird spot now since her recent nerfs with the shield and stuff, but she's still playable, and this will definitely do her well. Zarya, not D.Va. Now, the interesting change is about her weapons, where the bullet damage has been decreased from 3 to 2, and the number of bullets per shot has been increased from 8 to 10. Now, in a raw numbers kind of way, you may think, oh, okay, 2 times 11 is 22, 3 times 8 is, 24, so clearly this is a nerf. But I'm not quite sure how the 3 is applied, because damage this little gets a complete 50% damage reduction. So in this case, I am not quite sure how it's going to act, because the 3, you know, half of that is 1.5. Is it just going to take every second shot and putting them like up, or are maybe 4 shots from the 8 are they 2 damage and the other 4 are 1 damage? I'm personally not sure, and it's not really testable. At least I don't think it's testable, but that's beside the point. So the changes for D.Va are really, really weird in my opinion. Are they good? Yes, I think they're good. D.Va is really, really strong at the moment, and she really needed like to get toned down a bit. I think that this may be too harsh, especially now that they're trying to get Ana away from the meta, you know, with the little nerf. But we'll have to see. I think it's good. I personally would have, you know, gone a little smaller, maybe 300 armor, 300 HP. I don't quite understand why they wanted to change her weapons like that. I'm just going to assume that it's a small nerf, but then again, it's very, very marginal. I don't, to be honest, I don't even know if it's, you know, if you can actually feel it in game. It's really that small. It depends on how you play her. But other than that D.Va change, it's interesting. We'll have to see. Okay, so let's go over Sombra real quick. The time it takes to egg a target has been decreased from 1 second to 0.8 seconds. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but this isn't going to change anything about her. She's just not being played, and the reason for that is not that her hack takes too long. It's good again that they're making these little small adjustments. That's good, but this won't change anything. You probably won't see any more Sombras. I doubt that her win rate will change at all, to be honest. This is just, it's so incredibly small that I don't really think it's worth talking about. This will probably not make it to live, or if it will make it to live, then I honestly don't see it having any serious consequences. But let's get to the star of the show, shall we? I mean, this is what you all have been waiting for, and it's Roadhog. I'm not gonna like read out the changes. I mean, you are perfectly healthy people. You can read it yourselves. Also, the patch notes will be in the description, in case I don't forget it. But basically, the Roadhog hook will be... It got nerfed and severely buffed at the same time. So the line of sight change is good, because, you know, sometimes you get the feeling that your hooks are a little bullshit because of stuff like server interpolation and stuff like that. And you will still experience that, but it's going to be a lot rarer now. So most of the hooks that you got right now, they just won't be possible with the new patch. It's a pretty big nerf, actually. I tested it out a bit in game, and it's definitely noticeable. There are quite a lot of situations where this is going to screw you over. But, and here's the big but. Now the way the hook works is that the character is pulled at the same position. So, you know, before you had to do the little side strafe thing, you can't do that anymore, I think, and it's not necessary anymore. As you saw at the start of this video, Ana can be killed without doing any fancy side strafing stuff. You need to aim a little further down to get it, but I think you can do it with 100% consistency, definitely. So it's kind of a change like the Genji one. With Genji, like when they removed his triple jump and stuff, the better you were, the more the change affected you. So if you were like a gold tier Genji, then, you know, you probably wouldn't even notice the nerf, to be honest. But the better you got and the more you kind of utilized these mechanics, the more it, you know, fucked you up. And this is exactly different. So if you are a bad Roadhog, or like if you were a bad Roadhog and you didn't do the side strafe thing and you had issues killing Anas consistently, then this is going to change a lot. Like Roadhog and lower elo, if this shit makes it live, will go absolutely bonkers. Like, it's actually insane what kind of implications this has. The consistency of his hooks are just through the roof at the moment. It's no RNG. If you hook that Ana, then she is going to die. Maybe you'll have to practice a bit, but you don't need to do some random side strafing stuff. However, if you were a good player and you already did this kind of side strafing stuff, you don't have to anymore. That's good, I guess, but it's not really a buff for you. I mean, you just don't have to do it anymore. So I think the change is good, but I'm still not sure if it's a buff or a nerf. I'm going to say that it is a buff, in my opinion, because the amount of bullshit hooks isn't actually that high. Like, there are a few bullshit hooks, but, you know, not that many. But the fact that the targets get hooked in closer is actually massive. And I think that this change will do him very, very well. Like, I think people will like it. I personally love it. I think it's really, really good what they're doing here. And I can't wait for this to hit live. Okay, so that's my opinion on the new patch notes. Again, this is not any educational stuff. I didn't teach you anything, but people have been asking me. And I'm a little narcissistic, so I figured I want to share my opinion with you guys. So TLDR, and changes, not like it's going in the right direction, but it's not. Actually, it's not going in the right direction. It's not really going to do anything. The D.Va nerf is pretty harsh. I don't think the fusion cannon buff is going to do much, and the HP with armor swap is going to screw her over, especially against Zaryas. Nobody gives a shit about Sombra, and that change is going to change nothing. And Roadhog is, in my opinion, he's probably get buffed. So I suggest to every one of you, just download the PTR, play around with Roadhog if you can get him in a 1 hero limit match, which is probably going to be a little difficult, and test it out, and maybe you will understand what I'm saying. So that does it for this video. My name is Shoutout, and I'd like to thank you for listening.